It's Alberta Impact with Bryce Lambert. Tonight, innovation. Plus, Bryce welcomes Mayor John Stewart with Mike Schwitz. And Terry Rachwalski, featuring musical guest Kat Zell. And now, from Edmonton, Alberta, it's Bryce Lambert.
Welcome everybody to the first of many episodes of Alberta Impact. I'm your host, Bryce Lambert. You know, it's crazy and it's exciting. Over the past few weeks, we've been working hard, talking to some amazing people, learning more and more about this amazing province. You know, when we started this journey with our show, a lot of our drive was, I guess you can call it, turn that frown upside down mentality. Traveling around and hearing a lot of doom and gloom stories from individuals, markets, and businesses. But I have to say, as we moved through the province, we came across almost an equally matched number of powerhouse individuals. You know, people with some serious spark, saying nay to defeat and forcing open the doors for new opportunities. Many conceptions are out there about the overall image of our province, our mentality, and even our motivations. Some positive and some are negative. And I found when you dig deep enough, we'll surprise the hell out of you. We are the perfect combination of thinkers and workers, holding high ethics and morals, a wrecking ball on the old ways, ushering in new and better ones, all the way from industries like agriculture, tech, energy, political policy, inclusiveness, and even humanitarianism. The guests we have lined up are individuals specialized in their fields who are going to blow your mind with stats, facts, opinions, and outlooks to shine a light on the opportunities that are existing right here at home, and the leadership we have to the rest of the world. Innovation is key for moving forward, and anyone who is anyone knows the big names in innovation. Take Elon Musk, Google, or even Apple, for instance, who continually put it on the line. When you're the first to try something new, there are always going to be trials and errors. When there are errors, we tend to jump on those failures that stops us from trying again. This mentality does not nurture growth. All of these innovators are pushing to changing the world and humanity for the better. Like them or not, we need these people. And like them or not, we're the hub for them. So tonight, we have some great guests revolving around innovation. First up, Mayor John Stewart and Mike Schwitz from the City of Beaumont, who today is the fastest growing community in the Edmonton metro region and the 5th fastest growing community in Canada. Movers and shakers willing to take the risk of being first to introduce new tech and industry to their city. After that, we've got Terry Rachwalski with Alberta Innovates. If you don't know what Alberta Innovates is, you're not going to want to miss out on what she has to tell you. With some amazing and groundbreaking work backed by Alberta Innovates, we'll get her to tell you how important and why innovation is the key to our future. And to close out our show tonight, we've got a young up-and-comer singer-songwriter performing by the name of Kat Zell. Don't go anywhere, we'll be right back. Welcome back, folks. I'm your host, Bryce Lambert. Folks, my first guests tonight are the Mayor and Chief Administrative Officer of the City of Beaumont, Mr. John Stewart, and Mike Schwitz. Mayor Stewart has been a volunteer firefighter who was awarded the Alberta Centennial Medal for his volunteer work within the province, and he also does community soccer coaching, while Mr. Schwitz has been the City Manager of the City of Beaumont since June of 2017. Gentlemen, thanks for joining us.
Awesome to be here. Thanks for having us, Bryce.
Thanks for having us, Bryce.
Thank you. So tell us a little bit about the City of Beaumont and kind of some of the things that you guys are really pushing, because you're really making waves in the innovation and innovative movement of the province.
Well, we're doing some really great things. When our council first got elected back after the election in 2017, one of our biggest mandates was we have to increase the businesses that are coming to our community, and to do that, we did a quick analysis and we had a look around, and so we really tried to figure out where our space was going to be, because oil and gas Nisku is like 2 minutes down the road. We had the health business parks from Edmonton, which is 2 minutes down the road, figuratively speaking. But so where can we make an impact? And that innovation space was where we can do that. We can bring in the tech companies, and we can bring in the knowledge-based industries to our community and And so we have since really pushed hard to do that.
And so why is it so important for you guys to, like, you guys have really been driving to be the first, and which is amazing, because you're ground zero for some things that are incredible and people really need to know about. So why is it so important for you guys to be there?
Well, technology is changing at such a rapid rate, and it's going to impact our lives in ways we can't even comprehend right now. If you look at the industrial revolutions over the last several centuries, it's been relatively flat, and then all of a sudden it's taken off. Mm-hmm. And so if you're not leading that edge, you're going to get left way behind down here. Right. And so it's very important that we're first. Yeah. All right. So if we're leading the way, we can ride the front of the edge and make sure that we're out in front. And so all of the good stuff is happening to Beaumont, and we're not lagging behind.
Yeah, you betcha.
Bryce, if I could add, one of the biggest challenges of the City of Beaumont, and the mayor talked about it, is our demographics and our residential and non-residential tax base. You know, our demographics, almost a third of our community is between the age of 9 and 14. So they want services. They're entitled to services, recreation, parks, arts. With a residential tax base of 95%, that's who's footing the bill. Mm-hmm. So the challenge of this council when they came in and they directed administration is we need to change that. We look at the activity going around the Edmonton metropolitan region. You look at what number 4, number 3 in AI research. We've got to be part of that, and as a region, we've got to wake the world up and say, hey, come down here. Now, Beaumont, our physical location is fabulous for that. And as the mayor said, we've got an industrial park, we've got the airport, EIA, that's like 12 minutes away. So it's an area that we think we have something to offer, and we're going to get it.
That's awesome. So let's talk about some of the things that you guys are offering. Like, tell us about some of the initiatives you guys are doing right now.
Well, in order to get going, we really needed to be able to walk the walk. Mm-hmm. And so one of the things that we did is we recently became a city, 19,000 people, and so that was the first.
Congratulations.
Thank you very much.
Huge. Yeah.
That was huge for us. It's exciting. And so that was the first step in sort of raising our profile. But the one that's really started to put us on the map is our Ella project, autonomous shuttle, electric autonomous shuttle project. Yeah. And so it's the first time it's ever been put on a road in traffic in Canada.
Right.
And so that's really one of the things that has really put us on the map. I mean, we've had delegations from China?
Yes.
China coming over, having a look at our city and our location because we put this on our streets.
Right. And so what's kind of been like some of the response to something like this, especially in like a smaller city and you know, like I'm sure like, you know, there's a little bit of pushback, but what is some of the responses you guys been having?
One of the advantages that Beaumont, one of many advantages is, and you said, is the size. We're a small city, but we have everything there is to offer. So that experience is still real, but you can control it a little bit. How did it go for us? Well, let's paint a picture. I'm a storyteller. 50th Street runs north and south in Beaumont. It's 4 lanes of traffic. It's basically our main street. The first thing we did was isolated one of those lanes and took it out of service for the next 7 months. And we did not do a very good job off the start of communicating why we were doing that. So, but did we get everybody's attention? We got everybody's attention. There's not a person in the city of Beaumont that doesn't know of Ella. But that said, and you talked about it earlier, the purpose of Ella was to get us on the map, to show people that as a municipality, we can move. We can get things done fast. We're nimble. We're not afraid to make mistakes. We can get into that later, but maybe not. But part of the experience was bringing our community along. Right. And we learned a lot of lessons. The horsepower we threw at our communications in the beginning is something we've never done before. And I would say we missed, because people looked at it as a significant investment for a transit that went a kilometer down the road. Right. We missed it. I think we've caught up to the narrative now, but that was a huge learning. Mayor Stewart?
Well, yeah, no, it's as we've gone through the project and the more people you talk to and you explain what the project was about, and it wasn't a transit project. It was about introducing automated technology to a city street and exposing that to your residents. Mm-hmm. And so we've taken it from where it's been started and stopped by an operator to we're into our final phase where it's now fully integrated with traffic lights. Yeah. And so the things that we have learned that we're going to need to be able to do as a municipality to put that stuff on our roads is key. We can't buy that experience. Right. And right now we're the leaders in Canada because nobody else has done it. We have had Alberta transportation down because there's no regulations in Alberta right now about it either. And so we've been invited to those working groups, and so we're on the map as it's going to come to lay out the regulations that they're going to put that technology in Alberta. But the biggest thing is once you get people on there and you explain what it is, and yeah, I agree, it's not a good route for a transit location. It goes nowhere. But if we really want this to be a viable technology in our communities, we needed to learn some things.
Yep.
And so, can I see this on Beaumont's roads in the next 5-10 years? You betcha.
Right.
Maybe not that particular vehicle, but
Right.
I can see that technology being employed on our streets.
Well, I mean, we see it's the wave of the future. Like it's coming up everywhere. When you got companies like Tesla's that's testing it. I mean, every manufacturer's starting to test this, and this is going to become a reality. I think a lot quicker than people are kind of seeing the vision, right? And you guys are ground zero, and I mean, like, it's forgivable that there's going to be a couple little hiccups and things like that. Like there always is, and there's always going to be forgivable, or there's always going to be kickback on people who are trying something new and different because people fear difference, right? But now I really feel like you guys have laid the groundwork, or starting to lay the groundwork, which is going to be the model for every other city, not just even in Alberta, but we're talking Canada, maybe further, right? Because you're doing this thing that's new, it's different, but it's impactful, and you've kind of working out all the little kinks and the quirks and blah, 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 blah. But not only that, I'm really impressed with your initiative to just kind of paint the picture and present it to the world. And you know, and that's happening here in Alberta, which is massive. So getting away a little bit from Ella, I also want to talk a little bit about some of the other initiatives you guys have going on over there. Just in regards to, I know you guys are pushing like a tech library. You guys have done some other things that are really cool. Can you talk a little bit about that?
Go ahead. Do you want to start?
No, go ahead.
Sorry,
I don't want to talk over, but I will, because I'm a politician.
One of the initiatives we have underway is what we're calling our COBIC, our collaborative workspace. We want it to be the most tech-savvy workspace in this province, in this region. It's going to reach out to the many home businesses, tech startups, anybody else in the region who's looking at emerging technologies, and be able to, but are not ready for that storefront just yet. So we'll be able to provide that service, and I know we can talk about that a little bit later under economic development initiatives, get into more of the details of it, but it'll be the first ever of its kind, again, to be so sophisticated and so available to everybody. Right. So we hope that, again, is going to launch us into that, you know, what are they doing at the City of Beaumont? What is this about emerging technologies? Let's go check it out.
Super cool.
Yeah.
And do they support entrepreneurship, which is the next biggest key part of that initiative as well, is that we really want to have the next Apple. We want to have the next Steve Jobs, starting in our COBIC and scaling up and putting a head office in our community. Yeah. And so we're supporting those entrepreneurs. And if you want to be an entrepreneur and you want to get into business, we're going to make it as easy and as fast as possible for you.
Beautiful. And we all know that the backbone of this province right now is really sitting on the entrepreneurs. Like, I mean, these guys are really starting to push some things, and like yourselves, being creative and looking at new avenues and exploring, you know, more advanced technology. So, gentlemen, thank you so much for joining us. This has been super insightful, and if people want to find out more information about, you know, some of the other great things that Beaumont is doing, where can they find you? Where can they go to look for that stuff?
Go to the City of Beaumont website, and it's lined up pretty good. A couple clicks, and you'll see a lot of the things we have on the go. There's a number of things that we're obviously not in a position to talk about right now, but soon to follow. We're hoping within the coming weeks we've got some pretty significant announcements to make in that area as well.
Fantastic. We look forward to hearing about it. So that's great. Thank you very much. Appreciate it big time. Again,
thanks, Bryce.
You bet you guys. So that's the City of Beaumont and some of their crazy initiatives that they're coming up with that are unbelievable and super cool. And if you want to go check that stuff out, like they'd said, go and check out the City of Beaumont's website. And don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. We've got a couple more guests for you this evening and a music performance. And we'll be rock and roll. Welcome back to the show. My next guest tonight is the Executive Director of Entrepreneurial Investments at Alberta Innovates, Associate Faculty in the MBA at the Royal Roads University, and co-author of the book Business Diagnostics. Little known fact, she's founded and funded several companies while running her own consultancy agency taking technology companies to market. Really, at the end of the day, this is the lady you want to know. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Terry Rachwalski. Thanks for joining us.
Thanks for having me tonight. Yeah.
Awesome. So tell us a little bit about Alberta Innovates, what it is, and what your role is there.
Well, you know, Alberta Innovates is a public agency, a public corporation in Alberta, and it's really funded to drive innovation in the province. So across a variety of sectors, and so we're there to solve the problems of today, but also think about those problems of tomorrow.
Right.
So my role is leading entrepreneurial investments. So we really are providing coaching, community, and capital to entrepreneurs in the province of Alberta. So it's an entire system, but we're really looking at the end with that capital piece is to invest in those high performance, high growth, high potential companies that are going to make a difference and an impact in Alberta.
Gotcha. So you're kind of like Shark Tank.
Yeah, except more with investment banking background.
Right. Yeah. A little more in depth.
Yeah.
It's the layman's terms, maybe, but
Exactly.
yeah. Gotcha.
With ties. Yeah.
Yeah. Shark Tank with ties. I like it. Yeah. So, what's the process? Like, if someone wants to look for capital and get involved with Alberta Innovates, how do they? What are the steps they need to take?
Well, really, you want to start with a technology development advisor. They're going to provide that proactive connection into the ecosystem for you. So you can give a call, and we'll give you a number, what number you can call to connect a technology advisor, development advisor. And they're going to give you insights into what the process is and how many dollars are available. And it's a competitive process. So not everybody's going to get to that. They might get the coaching community part, but not everybody's going to get the capital part.
Gotcha.
Right.
Yeah. So what are some of like the really cool? Tell us about some of the neat, interesting kind of pitches, because like I'm sure there's dozens of them out there, hundreds of them out there. What are some of the ones that
Well,
really
there are
stand
hundreds.
out?
There are, we get so many applications, and they're so interesting. So you got to first of all admire all of this innovation and just the sheer passion that this Albertan community has. But the ones that really stick out for me are things like a mirror that will help you choose your clothes when you're buying things online. Challenge banking, we're getting a lot of applications for that digital area where people are iterating and trying to get that perfect product market fit, and they're doing it all digitally. It's so interesting.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Wow, that is pretty cool. And so with Alberta Innovates, like you guys have got lots of projects on the go. You have a couple of events throughout the year that you guys host. Can you tell us about some of the things that people can partake in or attend?
Well, for sure, watch our website because there's lots of events that we do all through the year and lots of webinars and things that you can, it doesn't matter where you are in Alberta, you can take part in it. But every year in June, you're going to want to be in Calgary for Adventures. That's the connection piece, those positive collisions between innovators, inventors, investors, and artists.
That's very cool. Yeah. So you're kind of marrying it all together to make like a really like an experience-driven event and exposure for these people, like the mingling and whatnot.
Absolutely. It's the mingling, and they have great parties.
Right.
Yes.
Good stuff. So with your relationship with the government end of things and because you're kind of like the middle person, so that funding is kind of coming from the government, coming through you guys, getting filtered out to these projects, and that's how that growth is kind of happening.
Yes.
Yeah, very cool, right on. And you're also the co-author on a book, Business Diagnostics, which we have here today. Can you tell us a little bit about this and what your drive was behind this?
Well, really, Business Diagnostics was all about giving a 300-page MBA. I teach in an MBA program, but a lot of business people don't have time to sit down and take a 2-year program, or so we wanted to create everything, put it all in one place. So it's a 300-page MBA.
Gotcha. So it really nails it down for you.
Nails it all down.
Yeah, it gets you through the diagnostics of your company and just kind of pushes you towards the growth.
Exactly.
That's very cool. Right on. So, Terry, where can we go to find you and find more information out about you?
Go to albertainnovates.ca, and we also have an intake. I think it's intake at albertainnovates.ca if you want to apply. And get connected to a technology development advisor.
Super. That's awesome. Well, thank you so much for being on the show. There you have it, innovators. If you have an idea of or a pitch that you want to put out there, be sure to go down to albertainnovates.ca. There's also a number that you can call 403-210-5229 or email intake@albertainnovates.ca. Don't go anywhere as we have a great musical performance coming up after the break. Please welcome Kat Zell performing her song, Fever.
I've always been close to war, but the fight in my head is taking taking its casualties, and I'm left with the dead. The terms of surrender are written in stone, marble and granite, crosses and bones. To take back the light, I wanted to savor. I wanted to savor the things I love most. No, I want this fever. I want this fever to take its host. Savor your rations, for tomorrow draws near. The eyes of your enemy are nothing to fear. Your greatest battle lies from within. Maybe you'll fight it, maybe you'll this fever to take its host. And when I got back, they were all blurred together. The faces I tried to remember, the people that thought I'd get better. And when I wake up, it's a constant reminder that I couldn't find her, that I am a liar. I want it harder. I want it harder to breathe at night. I want the giver. I want the giver to take back the light. I wanted to save her. I wanted to save her. The things I love most. No, I want this fever. I want this fever to take me host.
That's Kat Zell. Be sure to check her out on September 7th at the Canadian Country Music Awards after party in Calgary. She'll also be performing on the Diamonds in the Rough stage at 9:30 p.m. and on the 8th at the wrap-up party at King Eddie. Don't miss out. Well, that's it, folks. First episode in the books. Thanks for joining us, and we look forward to seeing you next week. Good night, everyone.